Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this one we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at something for the PS4. So over the last few years, competitive gaming and esports has really risen in popularity, and with that a lot of people are starting to take their personal gaming a little bit more competitively too. Now minus of course practicing for hours and hours on end, there is one benefit that can give you a little bit advantage over your competitors, and that's using a modded controller. And again, this market has increased over the years and there's a massive variety of controllers that are available, but today we're going to cover something that's a little bit different and something that might save you a lot more money considering what the actual modded controllers sell for. Now the custom controllers are great, but they carry a very expensive premium. For example, anywhere from £100 upwards to this one here, which is the Razer Raiju Ultimate, currently retails for £200. So no means cheap, but there's a nice alternative that's sprung up from collective minds called the Strike Pack. This goes on your existing PlayStation 4 controller that bundles with every PlayStation console. Currently retails for about £35 and gives you the ability to add some custom mapping buttons onto your existing controller. So what we're going to do today is go over the pros and cons in a nice quick, concise, to the point video, and just help give a little bit of clarity for someone that might be considering a modded pro controller, or if the cheaper £35 alternative is actually any good or not. I want to keep this as a nice short video so it gives you all the details you need to know without any waffle. So first of all, let's go over the pro controller. In this case we're looking at the Razer Raiju Ultimate. So for example, this controller has its own processor, and then the buttons that are on the back and the paddles are also mapped into that processor, so it makes it a much more faster experience than using an add-on like the Strike Pack, for example. There's loads of different options to quickly bind without having to remap buttons manually yourself, which is one thing you would have to do on the Strike Pack. This one offers customization of the analog sticks in the D-pad, just with magnets that snap on easily to give it more of a custom feel to how you personally find it to be more comfortable. You'll find even more buttons on this controller, including M1 and M2, and then of course the paddles, and you do have a lock feature to disable those swiftly, which is nice. This controller overall is nice and heavy. Of course the PlayStation 4 controller is generally quite light, and then the Strike Pack doesn't add that much weight on it either. So for those of you that like a nice bit of weight in your hands, then a dedicated controller is probably the way to go. The design and looks of the Razer Raiju is much more improved over the standard PlayStation 4 controller, especially with the lighting on this controller that's flashing around and changes colour with different profiles. Looks a lot better than just a standard PS4 one. Now of course there are some cons to using one of these controllers, so if you're using a standard PS4 controller then going to this, there's quite a difference in size and it can take a little bit of adjustment time to get used to it. You are a little bit limited with the magnet adjustments that you can do. There's not really too many combos you can do, so it would be nice if there are a few more available. Now if you want to use a headset with a controller like this, you actually have to have it plugged in, so that eliminates the point of a wireless controller in the first place. And then one little annoying thing, has to have a dedicated cable, and then you can't just use a standard micro USB cable. It's got some weird plastic sides on it, which means you're going to have to fork out more money should you damage the one that it comes with. So why would you choose a Collective Minds Strike Pack over one of the Razer Raijus? Surprisingly simple to set up with just a quick plug in and play. You just need to log into your PS4 account with the controller, and once you're logged in, plug in the Strike Pack to the PS4 controller, plug in the cable, and then you're good to go. The button mapping is so simple with on-the-fly adjustments. You just need to hold down the small square on the back above the paddle you want to set up, and then click the button on the controller to remap it. Ever so quick and can be done within a matter of seconds. Now unlike the Razer controller, any PS4 cable can be used to power the Strike Pack, and you do get a 10-foot cable included anyway, and as you always know, having a little bit of extra length is always handy. Giggity. Now the fit to the controller is really impressive. It's really well made, and considering it's very cheap, it does fit very snug, and you wouldn't think it was quite so cheap for the way it feels. It does have a very satisfying snap onto the controller speaker to ensure it's connected. Now just like the Raiju, there are going to be some cons for the Strike Pack. So for example, setting up the controller to use a headset can also be frustrating, but it's a little bit more understandable. It's going to be a little bit more tedious, as it is obviously a cheaper product, whereas the Razer is kind of an all-in-one solution. You do need to have a wide connection in order to use the Strike Pack. Then clearing the buttons you've mapped previously just seems to be tricky, a little bit difficult to get to grips with, but that may just be something that you need to take a little bit of time to look into. So to give you a brief summary of which is which, both of these are great products, and it all comes down basically to your personal budget is what you'd want to get. The Strike Pack is by far cheaper, around £40 compared to the £200 price tag on the Razer Raiju. I don't feel like you're going to be losing out too much by going on the cheaper option, as it does exactly what you need without any real downfall. It works amazingly, it's simple to use, and for the casual gamer who wants to be bridging out into competitive, or just wants to better their own skills, probably the best product to start with to get a good feel for the paddles, and then chuck in the number of model options available. I'd say it's well worth the asking price. But if you're looking for something with a bit more luxury and something sleek and sexy, and you're someone that's already experienced using paddles and already working at being a competitive gamer, then the Raiju is definitely worth the price tag. It looks incredible, the shape and weight feels great once you've got used to how it feels once you've transitioned from a normal PS4 controller, and being able to change around the buttons is a great luxury to have and leaves you prepared for any style of play you wish, and if a budget isn't something you have to worry about, then why not treat yourself to this beast. So I hope you enjoyed this shorter format video and it gave you an idea of what is going to be better for your personal preference. If you'd like to see a few more of these versus style videos, then please do let me know and I will consider making some more of them. And we'll link both of these products in the description box below if you want to get either for yourself. A big thank you to Razer and Collective Minds for sending these products out for me to feature. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss an upload, and I'll see you all in the next one.